So joining along with us, Mr. Pradyut Bordoloi, one of the prominent political leader of Assam. So it's been many decades you have served in Congress, and all of a sudden it's a drastic change. Before Assam polls, you have came into BJP, and many jolt has been came in front of the people that you even mentioned that you have suffered for humiliations also. So how do you see this? What exactly happened?
Now, look, Anamika, this is just not one incident or one instance. Actually, I always tell it, and I don't try to hide the fact that I joined the Congress party when I was barely 16 years old. I joined the NSUI, rose through the ranks and file. I became the state president of the NSUI. Then I became Cotton College Students Union, elected General Secretary, knowing as an NSUI, and then went to Delhi University, went to JNU, and then I contested election in JNU Students Union also, and I, as an NSUI candidate, I won as a councillor. So I have crossed many streams, and then I have been here in public life. I had been an MLA for 4 times, Congress MLA, and then I had been a minister in the cabinet of late Tarun Gogoiji for 15 years, from 2001 to 2016. So I have grown with the Congress party, and then this is my second term. I just resigned actually. This is my second term as the member of parliament, elected member of Lok Sabha from Nagaon. But then for quite some time I was feeling that I have been shunted out from the mainstream. This is not just one incident or one region, but then the kind of treatment that I was getting, or the...
What exactly treatment? You have mentioned the treatment. I can understand the pain from your voice, but what exactly treatment?
No, look, it became very palpable when I supported Dr. Shashi Tharoor in the organizational election. Because I was a proposer of Dr. Shashi Tharoor, and then I campaigned for him very extensively during the organizational election. Eventually, Khargeji won. But I always thought that it is a very vibrant system in a Congress organization throughout the ages. Even Jawaharlal Nehru and Netaji Subhash Chandra Bosu also contested in the organizational election. So there were many instances. So I basically tried to bring that organizational democracy. And then, as I said, I campaigned extensively for Dr. Shashi Tharoor. And then after election got over and Khargeji won with a massive majority, so I thought that's over. I mean, this was a very good omen for the party. But then after that, I don't know, repeatedly I have found that the leadership, but I must say that Mallikarjun Khargeji is very magnanimous and very broad-hearted. He never held any grudge against me. In fact, and then I always got a motherly treatment. I always reach out if anything happens to me politically. I always used to reach out to Sonia Gandhi ji, and then they understand. But then the second rung leaders, there are certain leaders, I have been shunted out. For example, many of my juniors were routinely inducted in a top committee, say screening committee of elections, or in fact invitees of the Congress working committee. Much junior people were inducted, but then we were never considered. I'm just giving an example, and I don't want to sound like a crying baby, and I don't want to give out a sour story that this didn't happen, that's why that, nothing like that. But there's a feeling, the palpable feeling of being neglected, being humiliated. There are multiple incidences, and then maybe last straw was the election process, because I am a senior person, and in my parliamentary constituency, I'm talking about Lok Sabha.
Yes.
Then there was a criminal MLA who conspired to kill me during the last panchayat elections. He is known to be hobnobbing with history cheaters and criminals. So they mounted a murderous attack on me. Somehow I escaped, but then my vehicle were smashed. I got bruises. You probably you remember. I thought that it was a handiwork of the ruling party, probably because I was campaigning. But then later, when Naga police took up suo moto investigation, it was found out, to my horror, that this was engineered by Congress MLA only to harm me. So that really hurt.
Who was that? You got to know about it?
Yeah, Asif Najar, and then I opposed his candidature. Ironically,
But ultimately, Gaurav Gogoi have been seen that he is welcoming
Asif Najar is a blue-eyed boy of Gaurav Gogoi, because you can always find Asif Najar on the veranda of Gaurav Gogoi, and then does all kind of errand boy kind of thing. But then it's below my dignity to say all this. Like when I found that criminals were felicitated by Gaurav Gogoi, and I actually briefed him later that these are the criminals, charge-sheeted criminals. Why are you trying to encourage and promote them? He didn't say anything, but then to my horror and then disappointment later, that criminal, that person who actually was the mastermind, he was sharing the stage with Gaurav Gogoi, and ironically I was also present in a party function. That I thought that this is not done. That's why I opposed the candidature of this criminal MLA called Asif Najar.
Pradyut, one more thing. When our senior leader Bhupen Bora also have left the party, Congress party, and he have joined BJP, he also mentioned several things about MP Rakibul Hussain and even Gaurav Gogoi also, that because of the Pakistani links also. So do you similarly feel the same problem or such kind of issues in the party while you were the member of Congress?
I don't know about the Pakistani link. Actually, I don't believe it in a way. But if something is there, because no criminals will tell you that he or she has done this. They always hide. So I don't know about all these. So that's why I'm not leveling any specific allegation. But then obviously there's a jugalbandi of Gaurav Gogoi and Rakibul Hussain. They try to run the party, and then in the process they try to humiliate other leaders and try to poke their, especially Rakibul Hussain, he pokes his finger everywhere. If it's my domain, and he would go and try to infiltrate and try to destabilize the entire system. These are all palpable things, but as I said, I don't want to behave like a crying baby. This thing happened, as if I was helpless. I was not helpless, I was fighting back. But I was fighting, and I was very vehemently opposing the candidature. This is the last straw. And to make matter worse, in the screening committee meeting, the Central Election Committee meeting, as you know, Khargeji presided over that meeting. All the top leadership of the Congress party was there. Unfortunately, I was not a member of the screening committee or Central Election Committee meeting, so I was outside the meeting. But then there's a gentleman called Imran Masood. He was inside because Imran Masood was a member of the screening committee. He traveled extensively. And imagine, Imran Masood was, accompanied by this criminal MLA. So whichever days, 10 days or 15 days or whatever, the 8-day camp of 8-day camp to ADC to Imran Masood was that criminal MLA. So inside the meeting, because when I leveled the allegations about the criminal MLA, I submitted the charge sheet, I submitted the photographs, all evidences. In spite of that, in the CEC meeting, when the topic of that particular constituency, Lahorighat constituency, came up, Imran Masood had the audacity to stand up and say it and assert loudly that whatever allegations leveled by Pradyut Bordoloi was all bakwas. all fabricated and false. That when I got to know about it, I was very, very hard, because
Even he have mentioned in front of the media also, he have spoken that whatever you are saying is just a fake propaganda. And even now when you have joined BJP, he clearly mentioned that whatever allegation you are putting on Congress, it's totally fake. And even he said that अगर पहले से आप दिमाग सेट करके रखे हो, आप CM के क्लोज हो, तो ये सब नाटक क्यों? So how do you see this? What kind of conversation it is?
they would obviously say all this now. But then I was inside Congress party and I fought that criminalization and then, the nexus between the politician and criminal and whatever they are, especially in those areas, minority areas I'm talking about. There are very organized cybercrime. There are a lot of, in fact, Lahori Ghat is known, as a nerve center of all kind of cybercrime. All the criminals are there. And this MLA happens to be the, main probably facilitator. So when I opposed that, probably the leadership didn't like it. And then when I opposed it and when I left the party, and the same MLA has been again renominated, as if to give me a very clear signal that look, we will continue to hobnob with criminal. So this gentleman, criminal MLA that I'm talking about, in my erstwhile Nagaon constituency, this guy is again a Congress candidate now.
Well, Pradyut, we have seen that now you have given a ticket from BJP, and the constituency, it's a new constituency for you, that is Dispur. Being a prominent leader, I will say the particular area where you have owned, it's not because of the party, it's because of your prominent face. The people, the local peoples of there, they really liked you, they really loved you. So getting a new constituency here itself in Dispur, and after the big challenges which we already have seen, so do you think it will be an easy task for you? How challenging it will be, and do you really think it will be a success for you?
Anamika, every election is a challenging. See, nobody can take it for granted that, everything is hunky-dory. And then there are very formidable candidates also. But then I have to go. But I am heavily depending on the organizational setup of the BJP, because we all know, and then from outside, when I was not in BJP, we were observing the way well organized their entire setup is. They have entrance to households. They have Prista Pramukhs, they have BJP I'm talking about, Prista Pramukhs or good organizers, and they reach out to every household. This kind of very organized outreach is really very, 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 very appreciable. So that is why, as I have been asked to contest from the most prestigious, one of the most prestigious LSC, because Dispur is the capital seat, as you know. So I will have to depend very heavily with the BJP's organizational strength. And along with that, I suppose I also enjoy some brand equity, and then I will go, but my days are very limited. I think I have only 18 days to campaign. So we will go and try to connect with the voters of this Dispur constituency, and I hope that the voters of Dispur constituency will accept me.
Well, we have seen Pradyut Bordoloi, your son. He has got the ticket from Margarita from Congress, but he have given the ticket back, and he has sent because of the dispute scenario between you and the party. He didn't like to choose to contest. So, do you really think that he will be into in party, or like is there any other decision where like he has been taking? Because I'm asking you this big question because you are the father, and there is always a duo bond between father and son. So that's why I'm asking this question.
No, look, Anamika, first thing, our son Pratik, he was barely 3 years old when for the first time I became a Congress MLA. So he also grew in a political family. But we were, both me and my wife Rani, we were very particular. While I was an MLA and a minister for long years, we made it a point not to expose him in the the power vapors, hot vapors of power. So we very studiously we kept him and his younger brother away. So much so that while I was a minister for 15 years, I was a home minister also at one point of time, we never allowed our sons to board our official vehicles, never allowed to enjoy the privileges and perks that a minister would get, so that they are always grounded, so that they can develop their own personality, and we always encourage them to take their own decision. I always try to inculcate this ideal and an idea into their minds that you should be known as a person. You try to develop your own personality, not as Pradyut Bordoloi's son, not as a leader's son or something. So that probably has inculcated him, and he's well educated, he's got good exposure, he's got a mind of his own, I would say a man of substance. So though he's almost a Genji, I mean just crossed that barrier, but then he is I think he's capable of taking his independent decision, and I'm the last person to influence him with my decisions or my ideals or whatever. So that's why the day I went to join BJP, I told him that without prejudice, you take your decision, and I will respect your decision, whatever decision you take. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So that was an exclusive conversation with none other than the political leader who have recently switched from Congress to BJP, Pradyut Bordoloi, and this is a big jolt of Assam politics in Assam itself. Stay tuned with us for more political developments and more political interviews with Vijay Ankit and Amika Datta straight away from Guwahati.